Alan Pollock is here with another good joke. Do we have a good joke today, Alan Pollock, or are we listening to one? Oh, groaning jokes.
I could sneak about a shower thought.
A shower thought.
Yeah, I could sneak one of those in for you. Let's see. Why is bacon called bacon and cookies called cookies when you cook bacon and bake cookies?
Okay, that's something to ponder.
There you go.
There you go. Okay, you got what?
It's a ponder. All right, let's get into the fun stuff.
Ponder. Good. All right, fun stuff.
All right. So I thought this was pretty interesting. The power of the internet and Google Maps and the ability to create communities. Gig workers, which we all know what those are, right? We're trying to get them into homes. Gig workers are tracking customers who reduce tips after delivery by marking their homes on Google Maps. So in other words, people that work for Instacart, after they do a delivery and they don't get a good tip or the tip's been lowered, they go on Google Maps and they're creating a community where they're tagging all these homes so other people know about it and can choose not to deliver to them. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's called tip baiter, like bait, B-A-I-T-E-R. And after a formal complaint was made, Google Maps has been starting to remove them. I don't know what's going to happen, but whoever I stole this article from online said that they reached out to Google, but there was no comment. So very interesting, but the power of the internet and the gig workers. David, I don't know if you remember, but back in the 90s, the Jetsons really did predict our future. I've got a really cool image here. It has 4 boxes and it shows 4 things. And the first was Zoom meetings with George Jetson staring into a screen, looking at his boss. Online classes, which was Judy doing aerobic classes through the TV online at her home. Teledoc. And then the last one was FaceTime. That's right. So the Jetsons clearly predicted our future.
I'm still waiting for the flying car. That's the thing I want. Yep.
It's out there. Some people have put their own money into making drones that fly and all this other stuff. Let's get into the mortgage stuff.
Get to the mortgage stuff. Yes.
All right. PMI Rate Pro. Some of you know them. Some of you don't. They are a tech company. They're hyper focused on PMI. Just like we have on the pricing side, there is no platform that takes all of the PMI data across all. I think they're doing 5 companies right now and doing a best X display. They're integrated with different platforms. They're talking to different people. They're agnostic standalone MI platform. So check them out. They've got some new stuff that they put out, but I didn't get a chance to grab all the details. PMI Rate Pro. The other one I saw, this was interesting, new data from Maxwell. They're the point of sale platform. Many of us know them. Actually, I think TMC is partnered with them. An exclusive look at home buyer groups and taking on higher rates head on. And what they're saying is the share of 18 to 24-year-old borrowers has increased by 18% year over year. So clearly the ways that we communicate and market and try and create relationships, 18 to 24-year-old buyers are increasing 18% a year. 18% is a lot. And we clearly need to do education. So I mentioned that just because of all the technology and the automation and the marketing and the ways that we look to attain new customers. Keep an eye on that younger generation that's coming up. David, Lender Price. They are a pricing engine in our industry. This is a big deal. I saw this and at first I glanced over it. I was like, I'm really not going to talk about it. But after reading it, so Lender Price introduced what they call composable pricing UI. It's an interface that allows you as a lender. What's that?
Could you repeat that one more time? You said that.
Composable. Yeah, composable pricing UI. Think of it as composing music, right? Orchestrating. And it's an innovative user interface that empowers lenders to effortlessly customize their pricing engine using ready, no code or low code. So what that basically means is they're giving you control, which many pricing engines do today, but it sounds like they're adding another layer on top of that to automatically change a lot of the things you have to contact the sales and support staffs for. It doesn't mean you want to do that, right? Those support staffs that work at pricing engines are there for a reason. They know the guidelines and they understand how it all comes together. But there's certain overlays either secondary market likes to do, or you just need to move with the market as quick and as strategic as the market moves. Anyways, Lender Price just put that out. If you're interested, go check it out. I thought that was really cool. And then David, the last thing I'm going to touch on today was an article I saw at ftadvisors.com, which is the Financial Times advisors. It's called Tech Culture and How to Maintain a Good Culture for Your Technology Employees. I'm not going to go through the list, anybody's really interested, we could talk about it more next week. But there was two things on this list I thought it was a big list that were really interesting. When you have a tech team and you invest in technology, they're investing in how things work, right? They're investing behind the scenes. They're investing in making things work. To lose them sometimes is a big hit. You went through all this trouble to get them trained and to get all this tech. So the biggest thing is encourage collaboration. A lot of times tech folks like to go off in the corner, right? Sometimes they prefer the dark room with the Coke machine and the neon lights, or I shouldn't say neon, but the other lights. Anyways, the goal is encourage them to collaborate, create small teams. The article talks a little bit about that. You want to check that out. And then the other thing it talks about to continue to attain and hold on to those folks is actually be open to use new tools. Allow for them to give you feedback and be open that they may have a good way that you can better collaborate or automate your workflow. There's a lot more in the article. You can check it out. It's ftadvisors.com. And I highly recommend to read it if you're looking to figure out how to better create relationship and sustain your tech folks. That's all for today, David.
Good. Have you heard? I was going to share this. One of the things that I was so impressed when Bill Cosgrove hired Alice is he honored her by creating a Ask Alice. We've talked about it on the podcast, the knowledge base you could add. And I'm not sure which tool they use, technology they use, they may have created in-house, but there's a product called IngestAI.io. IngestAI.io. And it allows you to do that. So what we're going to be doing here at Lykken on Lending, and again, with Transformational Mortgage Solutions, the consulting firm, is we're taking all of the conversations we've recorded, all the podcasts we recorded, we're dumping it in Ingest AI, and you can search any topic and we'll be able to bring up the various features. We're going to try to we're going to get it.
That's correct.
So I'll put it in there and make it work. But I want to encourage our listeners, if you're working at a company and you're looking to go, I wish I could look that up. Why do I have to make this phone call? Do what our friends up there at Union Home did, is created a system called Ask Alice. And it is a ability to ask a what do you call that? A knowledge base, I guess is the best way to say it, that's been gathered. And you query that with a normal standard language, just like you would a Google search, and it brings back answers. It's just amazing what that can do for a company. Alice, that has worked. Is it still, I should ask that as a question, is it still working as well for you guys up there? And is that database still growing like crazy?
Oh, yeah, it's amazing. So the system manages over 3,000 answers in a week in the mortgage space. So if you can imagine, that's how many people are getting answers right on their loans, are not having to call the underwriter or the processor to get an answer. And then they're getting a company-specific answer as well. So, and then they have all of the guidelines. So, yeah, it really is a time saver, but it is an investment, to your point earlier, to have Bill's commitment. Yeah.
Yeah, the Bill's commitment to put this all together. It was just fascinating. I thought it fit well inside of this topic right here. We're talking about technology. Check out Ingest, I-N-G-E-S-T dot, or INGESTAI.io. And you'll look it up and you'll see it. It's pretty amazing what it can do. So, Alan, so good to have you here.